up is 563 Commercial Street, Allison, Bonnie, represented by Dan Toscano.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. Thank you for having me tonight. For the record, my name is Daniel Toscano. My address is located at 15 Broad Street, Suite 610, Boston, Mass. To my right is Pat Ski, who's the architect of the petition, and we represent Michael and we represent Allison. Bonnie, they live at 536 Commercial Street, and we're seeking your support to expand the current roof deck from 150 square feet to 367 square feet. So 217 square feet of space we want to put out there. However, we don't want to use it all for the deck. As you'll see, there's a lot of green space on this roof deck, and we'll go through the plan with you. But just to give you a little history of this particular building, this was years ago, this was a three-family residential building. On the first floor was also commercial, so it was three families and a commercial. About 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago, it was changed to a single-family residential unit by Dr. A.B. Khan, who bought the property, changed it to a single family. Dr. Khan sold it about 2 years ago, maybe the end of 2012, early 2013, and the Bonnie family purchased the property. At the time, there was a roof deck, and Dr. Khan went before the ZBA, and the ZBA allowed a roof deck not to exceed 150 square feet. So there's a proviso that we need to remove. So we're requesting the ZBA to remove the existing proviso that the roof deck not exceed 150 square feet, and to expand it a little bit more. What's currently there is, this is the current head houses here, and there's a roof deck that just comes up, and it's a square little roof deck. We want to add these planters, and I'll let Chris go through it, and we want to add this decking here. These plans are going to change a little bit, and what you'll hear from Dr. Green, who's present here, and he was present in 2012 when we had the original petition for the roof deck. There was a concern about his privacy, and you see these windows here and these windows here. These are Dr. Green's unit. There's concern here because there's some footing here. After working with the abutters and meeting with the abutters on a few occasions, we're going to alter this plan. So this is not the exact plan, but it's very, very close. This is going to be eliminated. It's going to be more green space here. So Dr. Green, protect Dr. Green's privacy. But I'll let Dr. Green talk about his support or his potential support once we have agreed to do this, and I think Dr. Green wants to do that. We'll support it. So I'll turn it over to Chris to explain a little bit more about the green space and the decking.
Sure. So we're working with an existing head house, stepping out to an what is an existing deck, 2 steps up to a level of decking that is closely the same footprint as what's there now. It would be a new deck. What we're looking at is expanding in this area for an area for a barbecue and a little counter. The roof is already plumbed for gas and water, taking advantage of that. What we did want to do is have a passage that would allow a connection to this larger seating area, but we view this as more of a passive space. It's not a space that you're occupying. It's more to allow just circulation. There is the Bonnies currently have a storage chest that's movable, so we're looking at creating something that's a little bit more integral and aesthetically just pulling everything together, and that's what you see here.
About 18 inches high, so probably about 3 feet wide. Correct. 3 feet wide, 4.5 high. So everything is keeping everything below the window.
So in this area, we were looking at taking planters to screen the view onto the deck, provide privacy for both the abutters as well as the Bonnies themselves.
And just so you know, this is Commercial Street here.
Towards the parapet along the street, we're looking at a planted edge, something to soften that edge and just sort of give it a much nicer visual context to the long view, which is a beautiful view. We are looking at things like life safety, so we want to replace the existing, there's an existing handrail that's made of 2x4s, 4x4s, and we're looking at creating something that's a little bit more visually permeable. It'll also allow us to capture the whole space and make it safe. So that handrail goes kind of along the parapet, connects back to the head house, and then from the head house it returns back to the building.
We say more visual, but right now the existing railings are horizontal, so these will be thin rod and they'll be vertical. So what you see here is not going to be here, so the plan is just going to change slightly. So probably from here going down is going to be all green space, with just some area, some footing where the Bonnies can get there, so to do some planting. So unless Mike grows some inches and he turns out to be 8 feet tall and can reach back there, but we're not sure. So we'll remove that, so and that will also protect the privacy rights of the document.
So in terms of the roof line from the street, just be more green on top of there, would be really
Correct.
much of a difference in neighborhood perspective.
Like the majority of the space is really on green space that we wanted to add.
When the ZBA said the max of 150, that's when it was a three-family?
No, it was a single family. Dr. Khan changed the zoning to a single family, and there was a concern with the abutment material with Dr. Green, and they were very much opposed to it, and the ZBA said 150 square feet. And he sold it. Bonnie's a owner occupied. Come up with a good plan and work with Dr. Green, and I think we come up with a plan that works well for both of us.
So the issue was neighbor concern?
Correct.
So the caveat was
Particularly the abutters. Dr. Green, do you want to say something? And obviously this would be a second part of the applicant.
Yeah, right. We were very concerned about our privacy, and it was very good of the people that made the determination to limit it in size. Our main concern has always been privacy. And the Bonnies wanted to put in a grill. The grill needs space. And I did not see it was going to fit into the space that was determined. So somehow they had to be able to get to the grill, which would have enlarged the deck. And our main concern was that people who were here could see directly into our living room and TV area. And we have a tentative agreement that if the deck does not extend within the perpendicular projection of our building, but that is planting only, that we would be not to oppose it, contingent on seeing the new drawings and the rest of the footers who are much less affected in our building.
The rest of the building would be okay with your...
Sorry?
The rest of the building is in accordance with...
My understanding is they are. Our last meeting, but I haven't reported back because we just talked about this today.
And the Bonnie family has agreed that exactly what Dr. Green said, that this will be green space, as you can see from that window down. So really it's just taking this out here, taking this piece out and
moving it backwards this way.
Well, as long as it's not in.
Dr. Green, can I ask a question? Sure. Dr. Green, you found that the original setup of 150 square feet actually did not give you any privacy. It was just...
it was a problem.
It was a problem.
It was a problem.
Do you feel that the plans would actually give you the privacy you need?
It does, because the deck goes closer to our building. What was about 9 feet to the edge of the deck is about 4 feet closer. And there's less privacy.
Yeah, of course, but without just with the conditions that you have there now, although there's a greater separation, there's nothing to prevent folks from looking.
They can. They can. That was our objection to it in the first place.
Right now,
which we lost.
Yeah, because you got 150 square feet of decking.
Yes.
And they are looking right at your window.
Yes.
Yeah. So if they do some good landscaping there, that probably would
It helps a bit, and we feel a little bit more confident with our neighbor than the prospects that we had previously, because the house was flipped, and we didn't know what was going to happen.
Because as of right now, even though you have the deck, you still have the tar roof, and, you know, the owners could walk on the tar roof and go right up the dock.
Yeah, but there's nothing walking.
Right, but now this will prevent them, give us some space, so we have a plan in here. This is some storage, so this is not seating, but what the plan is maybe to move this over to here, and move the plan is here, so if Dr. Green with more privacy. And what you see here is, this was here strategically, some slats and some green space in between the walkway, so it won't be used as a deck area, so people couldn't stand there or put a chair there, in particular because it was a direct view of Dr. Green's.
Moving those planters over to the other side, where you have them there and putting the storage in the side, would be better for
Right, we can.
you get more area.
Right.
I'm just curious,
It's the same thing for sound, you probably get a little less sound.
what's the gap between the buildings?
There's no gap.
There's no gap at all, right up against the back.
Okay, now, is there any questions from the audience?
Just one question. Hi, I'm Kathy McDonald from the Prince Building. What happens if this house is sold again? Will the new owners be obligated to maintain the landscaping for its privacy?
Will the new owners be, I don't know if they'll be required to maintain it. We hope so. This is not, I mean, it's a single family property. It's worth a lot of money. I can't imagine you're gonna have some young folks in there, or you're gonna have some people are gonna spend a lot of money, but the Bonnie's been there 2 years. They love it. There's no desire to move out. Put a beautiful space up there.
There's also the fact that there's the privacy issue for the abutters, but there's the privacy issue for the owners as well. So it's in their best interest to keep as much privacy as possible.
But
and
there's
still
no
be able to use
obligation, I mean, when the building is sold, if it's sold.
It's a tough question to ask if, I mean, it's hard to go on if it's sold. I mean, if, you know, other people sell properties or restaurants get sold, I mean, it's a tough question, so. But, I mean, I think that's why, I mean, I think Dr. Green and the people that have been good neighbors, I don't think there's any issues with the Bonnie. They did a great proposal that, like I said, would help with Dr. Green's privacy. What you have here is a deck and some tar area, but this will add some green planters. It'll be a beautiful roof deck.
But if approval were given for the deck to be of a certain size and a certain place, even if the plantings were not made, I don't think they'd have a right to have what is not deck.
Well, that's the question.
Right?
Obviously, this is more than the 367 square feet or whatever it is, includes a lot of not walkable space. So I guess it would be up to Dr. Green and whoever is abutting it to make sure that it's green now stays green. Really nice ownership.
Yeah, at the same time, I don't get me wrong, I mean, I kind of see Dr. Green's point. You know, I mean, having a 150 square foot deck in the middle of a roof to prevent people from peeking through your window doesn't really do much, because they can still walk on the flat top and they're still looking right through your window. I mean, green space is green space, and if you can have that between you and your neighbors, it's good for your neighbors, it's good for you. Considering that you already have a roof deck, you know, I mean, the roof deck is already there. This is a better remedy than just leaving the roof deck the way it is, because you have no privacy regardless.
Correct.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Is that exclusively for them?
Owner occupied,
Nobody
it's a
else
single
can
family.
use it?
No. Owner occupied, it's a single family home. Bonnie's been there almost 2 years.
You want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we vote on the question of whether to expand the existing roof deck for Allison Bonnie, 536 Commercial Street.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Seconded, thank you, sir.